I have children who attend schools who have soccer games, y'all. You know, you all are asking me as if I'm not a parent in this city. I get it. I'm mayor. I get it. But you're asking me to give you a date, and I have to court. Do you understand that you have not had a mayor like me? I get that. I have a wife. I have children. They have schedules. And plus, we still have public safety that we have to address. We still have the unhoused that we have to address. I still have a budget that I have to address. And I'm doing all of that with a black wife raising 3 black children on the west side of the city of Chicago. I am going to the border as soon as possible.
All right, guys. So what you just saw there was woke Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago pulling a disgusting race card when asked about whether or not he would visit the border or when he's going to visit the border, okay? And again, this video is going viral because we have these woke mayors leading these Democrat-run cities. These mayors happen to be so-called people of color, right? A lot of them happen to be black, okay? And it just so happens that these cities, whether it be Chicago, New York, LA, San Francisco, they're being ran into the ground, right? They are on the verge of collapse. And of course, when confronted about pressing issues, like for example, again, the border, why is Brandon Johnson not going to the border? Why haven't you visited the border yet? Again, this guy, in order to try to deflect and try to shut down a reporter, again, he pulls the race card. Well, you don't understand. I have a wife and kids, and they're black, right? I have a black wife and kids. Therefore, I'm too busy to do my job, right? I'm too busy to go and see what's happening at the border to better understand the illegal immigration crisis that I boohoo, whine, and cry about every single day because I'm getting exactly what I asked for, okay? It's pretty fascinating stuff how these people love to pull up race as a means of deflecting criticism, okay? I mean, it's pretty sad. But there's nothing sadder than the #1 race hustling mayor, who is Eric Adams of New York City, okay? As we got to talk about this clip, okay? It is an extremely disgusting clip of Eric Adams basically comparing himself to Jesus because he has hired a diverse set of people to run New York City into the ground. And he said this at a community event, and I want to respond to it because it is crazy to me how a lot of these progressives literally have a God complex. But before we get into it, we have to have a word from the sponsor of this video, Fighter Flare. Blue cities are experiencing soaring crime despite what the mainstream media says. Many cities are seeing as much as a 20 to 30% spike in crime. Unfortunately for America, crime rates have spiked since 2016 after a 30-year decline, and there are no signs of this trend slowing down. This is why tens of thousands of people are only starting to feel safe when they carry their Fighter Flare flashlight. The Fighter Flare flashlight is a multi-tool tactical flashlight that is designed for self-defense and is highly revered by military and law enforcement. Its flagship feature is its ultra bright 800 lumen light with strobe lighting and SOS capabilities that can help blind an attacker, activate an emergency signal, and be seen for miles. Featuring a built-in lighter, belt cutter, digital battery life indicator, glass breaking hammer, built-in power bank for cell phone charging, solar power, compass, multiple lighting modes for a variety of situations, and the ability to have the Fighter Flare light zoom in and out with an included extender. If you order the amazing Fighter Flare flashlight today, you will get 3 bonuses like a complimentary 100% lifetime guarantee, free access to the exclusive Prepper's Peak newsletter, and free shipping. Don't miss out on this incredible offer, and you can experience the incredible protection the Fighter Flare flashlight offers at an exclusive 15% discount only by using code 15OFF at fighterflare.com. That's fighterflare.com. The link is in the description below.
Only 2 years. We are moving the needle forward. Is there more to do? You're darn right there is. But this committed team is getting it done. Look at this team, folks. Look at this team. Look at my deputy mayors. First Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright, Deputy Mayor, stand up, stand up. They need to see you. Deputy Mayor Williams Isom, Deputy Mayor Mira Josie, Deputy Mayor Amazar, Deputy Mayor Maria Torres Springer. Have you ever seen this much chocolate leading the city of New York? And then go down the line. Look who's here. This is representative of the city. That's why people are hating on me. You trying to figure out why they're hating on me? They're hating on me because how many of you go to church? Ma'am, this is a Matthew 21:12 moment. Jesus walked in the temple. He saw them doing wrong in the temple. He did what? He turned the table over. I went to City Hall to turn the table over. First women police commissioner of color. First Spanish-speaking police commissioner. First Spanish-speaking correction commissioner. Go through the line of what we're doing. In 2 years. That's right. Because that's how we do it when you're from Brownsville. And so I know that many of you may stand around and say, well, you know what, Eric, we don't like this, we don't like that. I got it. I got it. That's the same thing they did to David Dinkins. It took us 30 years after what they did to David Dinkins. And who did we get after David Dinkins? Giuliani. It was a setup for a setback.
Wow. Wow. Again, if that was a white man, okay, if Eric Adams was a white man and he said the things that he just said, there would be so much outrage in the mainstream liberal media. People will be losing their minds. They'd be calling him the grand psyops of the Ku Klux Klan, right? Because that is what that sounds like to me. I mean, Eric Adams sounds like a black supremacist, right? That's what he sounds like when he's talking like that, because he's literally bragging about how his city is being run by all non-white people, okay? Have you ever seen this much chocolate, right, running the city? Okay, could you imagine a white man saying, have you ever seen this much vanilla running the city? Okay, I mean, he's proud that his city actually lacks diversity in leadership. There are not a lot of white people, right? There are no white people on his leadership. That's what he's proud of. Okay, this is what he's saying. Again, if a white person was bragging about not having a lot of black folks run their city, what do you think the response would be? Do you think it would be acceptable? Do you think it would be okay? Hell no, it wouldn't be okay. Hell no, it wouldn't be acceptable. And then he pushes the envelope even further by comparing himself to Jesus, right? Comparing himself to Jesus. He said that this is a Matthew 21:12 moment, okay? Referring to the story about Jesus entering the Jewish temple during Holy Week and then proceeding to overturn the marketplace and the table of the money lenders, okay, money changers. And he also healed the blind. You had some children who were singing his praises as the son of David. Again, that's a pretty lofty comparison there, Mr. Eric Adams, comparing yourself to Jesus, right? The Messiah, right? This is what he's doing. Okay, he really does have a God complex, okay? It's pretty disgusting, and it is blasphemous, okay? This is what he's doing. He's blasphemous. You can't run around and call yourself a Christian, but yet say blasphemous things like that. Compare yourself to Jesus. You can't do that. That's not how it works, because regardless of what this guy thinks, he's not performing miracles on New York City the way that Jesus did in that temple, okay? I mean, it's pretty, it's just stunning to me, okay, that this guy really tried to compare Jesus driving out the moneylenders from that temple to him driving out the white people off of New York City's leadership team. Again, absolutely amazing stuff. Disgusting, okay? Especially when you have New York City being in a state of chaos, okay? It is a crisis. And when you have these so-called, black leaders in these cities bragging about how diverse their leadership team is, but yet their cities are shitholes, then you got to ask yourself, is it correlation or causation, right? We got to have a conversation about that, okay? Because all of these cities that are electing these so-called diverse mayors, okay, whether you look at Washington, D.C., you look at New York, you look at Boston, you look at Oakland, you look at San Francisco, Chicago, L.A., all these cities, all of them have so-called diverse mayors, right? And all of them are shitholes, right? I mean, that's just the perfect word to describe it, okay? So it is what it is. With that being said, Eric Adams running around comparing himself to Jesus while he has the illegal immigrants that he loves so much that he is responsible for coming into the city and staying and feeding them and giving them all of the taxpayers' money. They're running around showing New Yorkers how thankful they are by robbing people across New York City.
Of 62 robberies where the robbers are accused of sneaking up on their unsuspecting victims, mostly women, on mopeds and scooters. Fox 5's Kendall Green is live in the Morris Park section of the Bronx with more. Kendall?
Hey, good evening, Steve and Natasha. Police made multiple arrests in an apparent grand larceny scheme where they target unaccompanied women, and those involved are accused of snatching their purses and their phones, all to make money, while the mastermind behind it remains on the loose tonight. NYPD walking this duo, 20-year-old Alexander Dacre and 24-year-old Roxana Sejos, out of the 49th precinct Monday evening. They're alleged foot soldiers, part of an elaborate grand larceny scheme across the city. And in Lower Manhattan, police walked a second pair out of the 1st precinct, involved in the same scheme with vicious capabilities.
These thieves would ride up behind their victims on the sidewalk, steal their property, and then make their getaway. The majority of the victims are women, simply just walking alone.
NYPD released this video showing a victim being dragged by someone on a moped and flung into a metal beam, all to steal a cell phone.
The leader of the crew, identified as Victor Parra, will blast out a message via WhatsApp that he is looking for phones. Parra will send out specific orders for what type of phone he is looking for.
Around 5:30 Monday morning, the NYPD executed a search warrant at the alleged ringleader's home, where they arrested 5 people, recovered 22 stolen phones, along with victims' IDs. But the mastermind behind it all was nowhere to be found.
There are a total of 62 incidents that have been connected to this pattern so far, touching every borough in New York City except Staten Island.
The fraudsters, we're told, had their eyes on the dollar signs. Police say the scooter operator could make $100 a day, and the actual phone snatchers could pocket between $300 to $600 per stolen phone. And the most challenging part for police is tracking down criminals with an indefinite amount of IDs, making it hard to tell who's really who.
They're essentially ghost criminals. No criminal history, no photos, no cell phone, no social media.
Now, NYPD accounts, they have reported 32 similar patterns involving mopeds and phone snatches. They account for 147 cases, 147 victims. And so far, meanwhile, they're still looking for several people involved, including that ringleader. That's the latest from Morris Park. Kendall Green, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, so it's amazing how they just conveniently leave out the fact that, yes, they arrested migrants, right? Migrants in connection with this. So you have migrants running this city, okay, into the ground, okay, along with the other criminals there who happen to be American citizens as well, too. Okay, you know, they cut back on their budget a lot, significantly, to take care of the illegals. And what do you get as a result of it? You get mass robberies, and you have police officers getting beat up. But don't worry, woke DA Fat Alvin Bragg will just release them immediately, put them back on the street just for them to try to escape, right? Just for them to try to catch a bus to Mexico, right? That's what they'll do. That's what they'll do. And then they'll end up, you know, feeding them and sheltering them and taking care of them with taxpayer dollars. But just remember, though, Eric Adams says that he should be compared to Jesus because he made the city more diverse in leadership. Yeah, this is embarrassing, okay? This is so embarrassing for Democrats. It just continues to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.